Long, correct. Yeah.
Much smaller than you think.
I know men are really bad at lying.
I found a game I think you really enjoy. You like a
I'm 6
XL,
inches,
right?
okay?
Correct.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
playing a
5
game
feet wide.
called
This bitch
Grim
is
Dawn.
I've heard a lot about Grim Dawn. I have not played it. It's another free-to-play like Path of Exile, right?
No, it's not free to play, but it's not a lot of money though. It's very low.
Oh, I had that game.
I did.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Mhm.
It's like super good. It's like you're
Kind of like Diablo.
If the skill system, is that the one with the grid that you can shift circles, or is that a different game I'm thinking of?
That's a different one. And this one, there's, well, you have your main guy, and every level, I think you can have two. You can class. You can all class one main class and one alternate class to pull from if you need to buff something. So they have lots of stuff to pick from. And then you have the astrological thing, where you unlock these like shrines, and every shrine you unlock, you can choose a star, and there's like tons of different ones.
Right, and like that's where you get a lot of your specializations, if I remember right. Yeah. It's similar that section, if I remember right, is similar to Skyrim, I think, the way that the skill system works on that.
Yeah.
I remember watching a handful of people do some of the early, I think it was like beta days, when that was coming out, and it looked pretty good.
It's a lot of fun.
I know that one of the biggest things I was worried about on that one, it was going to become like another like Skyrim Oblivion, where by the end of the game you could just end up doing everything, and that always kind of annoyed me. It takes away any like character definition, if you will.
You probably could if you played a shit ton.
I like it.
Like you played all the time, because I'm pretty much gone straight a necro, and like
You're not allowed to see certain
I poured every point in the necro, and then I've got a lot of like time log.
Right.
I'm like, if you want to do everything, it would take forever. Like,
Okay.
literally forever. So you pretty much. I don't think that you could. And
Basically, what you're saying is there's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
There's a certain point where it's just not worth putting in the hours to get more.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like it's fine. I've tried different. I've tried necro, soldier. They're all good. They're on the way. I prefer the necro. There's another one that you can have like pets and stuff too. But a lot of the bosses are like super hard. I'm like, summon skeleton. I'm running, and I'm like, fuck, summon skeleton.
That was one of the things that worried me about Path of Exile when I first started playing it, was the fact that I had heard so much about it being so much like Diablo 2, and then you first start it and you're like, this is nothing like Diablo 2.
Yeah,
and then you get the hang of the actual skill gems and all that, and you're like, okay, this is actually kind of like Diablo 2.
Yeah, it is.
Confusing at first, but yeah. So I've contemplated like giving Grim Dawn a shot, and if I get a chance to where I've got some extra free time to like kind of get back to video games, I just might do that.
Yeah.
There was another one that's supposedly coming out here pretty soon that I wanted to try.
They just came out with Torchlight 3, but I've heard mixed things about it.
I think Cyberpunk 2077 was the one that I thought I might give a shot, because that one has a heavy RPG element to it as well, and I thought that was pretty cool, especially considering I loved the idea of I always loved Shadowrun and
Shadowrun, great.
Like those types of games where it takes fantasy to like modern days.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a really cool idea.
Nullify one of them. I can take one of them. Well, I can.
And I'm contemplating getting a set of the Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition books.
Oh yeah?
If we find
if
one coming at us anytime we don't want it,
we get like some downtime where we're not going to be doing this for like a little bit, because like maybe we have people in and out for whatever reasons, especially around holidays. I would definitely not mind playing a Vampire the Masquerade game.
I would roll
especially with the new system. Especially with the new system, the way that it works, it's really interesting. You no longer have a blood pool.
No?
What you have is hunger dice. When you try to use a power, you roll your hunger dice, and if you fail the roll, you get hungrier. And if you succeed,
cool.
it doesn't take hunger. So
better.
it's a really interesting setup, but you roll hunger dice with every roll. So the hungrier you are, the more chances you have of going into frenzy when you try to do something.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting edge of your seat kind of thing. Because whereas the old system where you had a blood pool, you could run your blood pretty much all the way out.
Yeah.
And yeah, you eventually end up kind of going into frenzy because you're hungry, but as long as you stop before you reach that point, it's not a problem. But now it's a matter of, as long as you are hungry, you have hunger dice that give you a chance of like really bad shit happening. And you cannot remove that last hunger dice unless you kill.
Oh, really?
You always have at least one hunger unless you kill. It's a really interesting system, and I like the way that it works with like the humanity and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So I'm thinking about it. I need to read up a little bit more on it, make sure that they didn't fuck anything up horribly before I go ahead and commit to it. But I think it's a really cool idea. And they've changed, like, if you know anything about their lore, they've changed so much.
Really?
So much. Yeah, we'll talk about this on break, but it's...
I used to play a lot a long time ago.
Same. I used to LARP, so it was interesting. So, if we are ready, after a short but substantial trip to the island by ship, a fairly eventful drinking contest, learning at least a decent amount of information on the way here to the islands, almost having to bypass a fairly substantial section of the island from not knowing how to talk to people. Don't just look at him. There was a group-wide problem on that one.
I was trying to fix that one.
Lithani being Lithani. No.
It wasn't wholly his fault. I was more engrossed in copying over spells and all that kind of stuff, and I was also letting everyone else take a turn on talking, which probably wasn't the best thing I should have done.
But Lithani did attempt, in his own halting way, to try to hemorrhage a wound, and in the long run, you all did succeed. Talking to a sweet elderly woman who is apparently very cold.
Not anymore.
Still cold.
Yeah.
Still cold. Anybody who's ever been around someone like that, perpetually cold. Always cold. Traveling up the mountain and entering into the mountain to find what was at one point the stronghold of an ancient copper dragon and his wards, which were an adventuring group turned living community inside of the mountain. Working your way through, learning some history behind them, you finally ended up making it down to what used to be the treasure chamber of the dragon, and finding the long dead body and stirring up some memories that were shared about what actually ended the colony. Collecting a book of short stories and life events from the dragon, you all moved on to finally exit out the north side of the island and enter into the water in search of the ruins of Escarl. Entering into the city, you eventually ended up coming to a point where you could find a set of crossroads leading you in a more direct direction that you were looking for, and started hearing some ominous noises that sounded very much like running electricity, like a Jacob's ladder, if you will. Seeing at the very edge of your dark vision a large eel head popping up just over the edge of the building, I would like you all to roll initiative.
Are we going to tell the halfling what we see, or are we just going to push forward?
No, it's a large. Oh wow! Way to start the day.
What'd you get?
She got a 1.
Oh shit.
Well, so much for that.
Shit, yeah, that was our entire plan out the fucking window right there.
Well, God damn.
Never count on good rolls right off the bat. That is for sure.
No!
So-
Got a 15.
I thought I can only see the one on your 11.
First ever mass groups fail.
We're just stunned for like 3 rounds.
I had to be honest, that's gonna happen, so you all die.
Just death now.
You realize there's a foul smell in the air around. It's poison.
For some odd reason, all your souls get sucked out into the astral planes as your body starts.
I luckily am not there, so I live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Wait, didn't he have to roll initiative too? You said everybody. No, fuck around.
He was here with us the whole time
No,
in our hearts.
The secret was Belloc was there the whole time.
Not doing.
All right, let's go 20 to 25.
I do not have my notebook
No.
today.
I just want to go straight.
Oh, before I start hearing any of your numbers, I need to figure out which is which. Just to make sure.
Or do you want to keep track?
I'll do it straight up in order, so that way it just makes it a lot easier. That's great.
The eel was actually the small head of a chimera.
Oh,
No.
you watch 2 other heads
Who was
curl over.
another small head of a mega hydra. Oh my god.
For every hydra, you cut off 2 more hydras come.
Oh my god.
Please don't get the damn
There's only so much I can do.
No, you can keep giving me
I
ideas.
feel like at the point, with eels in particular, it just looked like a really fucked up spaghetti noodle.
Yeah, it's flying spaghetti monster.
The Hydra King.
One blood king hydra, so just...
Oh my god.
Stop it!
His body goes way down into the depths of the ocean.
You were actually sitting on not a building, it's just like a nodule of his shoulder armor.
I'm just waiting for it to turn into one of those, like, the world turtles. So really, we're like drifting further out to sea than we realize. And we're all gonna die there.
That's a possibility for quite a few of us.
All right, I have those written down. So, was anybody 20 to 25?
No.
As he scribbles.
Like 26 here, minus 11.
15 to 20?
I'm 50.
16?
16.
Let's not
What's your dexterity?
Stop it.
Mine, 19.
19? Yeah, okay. You said you were 16?
Why is he writing so much? How many of these
I
fuckers
know
are there?
Like, so I got those right now. Like, what's those?
First Hydra goes off the screen, summoning 10 more Hydras.
Well, the volcano gets multiple actions.
Oh god, he
10 to 15?
10.
11.
10, 11.
Living
What's your dexterity?
Earth.
My dexterity is 18.
Alright, so there were 2 wheels.
Well, he also scribbled down like 3 things before he even got to us.
Wow.
You got to. I love your shit.
5 to 10.
9.
9. What'd you end up with?
3.
9 and 3.
That's the problem.
Alright, let me make sure I got this right.
But it plays in with your characters. You're way more impulsive.
That's fair. I'm supposed to be slower than all of you. How does he swim with the wheelchair? Did he like attach to a family?
It's just jet propulsion out of your butt.
He just worked his way across like like a jellyfish.
Yeah, there you
A
go.
flump. Just inflating and deflating his butthole.
Hey, I finally found a bonus to my prolapse asshole.
No, I wouldn't even call it that. No, even then, I wouldn't call it a bonus.
No one calls it a bonus.
All right. So, at the top of the round, you hear from further up ahead and to the left side of you a very quick electric sound
But here's good.
as it comes just into
One's dead, guys.
Hashtag winning.
as it comes just into your dark vision. Your dark vision 60 feet, so
That's a deal.
put you there. 8, 12 right there. And that one is going to start off the round with a shocking charge.
James, did you move this one on purpose, or did it just get moved back?
No, it just got moved. You can pull it. Yeah.
Threw it on the floor.
Oh,
Well, I don't care about the monsters that much. I need to throw a couple more on there then.
Can we?
No, shut up.
Okay. So, shocking charge allows it to move double its speed through people's spaces. It's going to, which side is it going to choose? It'll choose this side. So, it's 60 to right there. That puts it at 70. To right here. And I need, who's on that side? That's